Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. My camera is currently flashing red, so I don't know how long this camera is going to go for. We're going to try and get this video filmed, but I've been wanting to film this video for so long and I've been putting it off because, I don't know, I'm kind of like nervous to like tell everyone and like let the news out. But if you haven't read the title, today's video is going to be a Q&A slash like life update because I feel like I just have so many things to like tell you guys about. I put a little ask box on my Instagram just to see if there was any other things that you guys wanted me to talk about, but basically I'm just gonna answer and fill you guys in. So let's just get started because, as I said, we don't have time to waste. This is gonna die any second now. What are you planning on doing now that you have finished high school? Your future plans now school is over. So if you don't know, I graduated high school. My graduation vlog and my last day of school vlog are all up, so make sure to go look at them once you finish this video. But I am moving. I am going to be moving to Queensland, and when I say I mean my family are going to be moving to Queensland in January. So really soon, it's like 6 weeks or 7 weeks we're moving. Our house is sold. So much I haven't told you guys, like it's so crazy, like putting our house up. I've lived in this house my whole life, so for 18 years, so that has been an emotional roller coaster, like putting it up, selling it and all that kind of stuff, but it is sold. So we are moving in January, which is crazy. I'm really excited to go to just like start fresh, start new. So that is kind of what I'm going to be doing after high school. Basically, I'll like sum it up, but my family have wanted to move to Queensland for a really long time. Like before I was born, my mum wanted to move to Queensland, but my dad didn't want to, which is kind of really rude because I would have grown up like doing little nippers and being a really good swimmer, and I would have like lived out my life goal of being a lifeguard. But that's okay. We're not gonna hold it against my dad. And then around about 3 years ago, then the idea kind of came up again about moving to Queensland, but it was always like when my parents retired and all that kind of stuff, and like, you know, like a really distant future. And then I had always said, because I had like visited Queensland, that I wanted to raise a family, which is in a million years, like that's nothing like coming soon, obviously, in Queensland. So we've always like said we wanted to go to Queensland. And then COVID happened and we were like, Melbourne is just not it right now. So the kind of process got shorter, and then we're like, okay, we're gonna move like once Katie graduates, like high school, like maybe 2 years later. And then I kind of got an obsession with, I want to move to Queensland. I just wanted to do it straight away. A few people around me in my life actually moved to Queensland, and I got this idea, and then my dad decided he really wanted to move to Queensland. So me and my dad kind of really advocated for it. We really pushed it, and we kind of just like got the ball rolling. And then all of a sudden our house was up for sale and we were like, oh shit, we are really doing this. It's come along really fast, but I'm really excited for it. Obviously it's like sad to leave behind Melbourne. I do love Melbourne, like there's nothing wrong with Melbourne, but I'm just really excited for like a fresh start. I definitely feel like I've outgrown this space, like just being in my town. I just want like a new chapter and a new beginning. I always wanted to travel after high school. That was always what I was gonna do anyway. Like if you've seen my other Q&As, I always talked about that. And my plan was always to actually move to Byron by myself and like just stay at backpackers and work and like travel around Byron. So that was literally always my plan. I actually went to Byron not that long ago, if you haven't seen the Byron videos, and there was so many jobs up for like advertising, and I was like this is what I would have done. So it's not really that much of a change. Like I definitely would have moved out of Melbourne either way. I'm just excited for a fresh start, like a fresh job, to make new friends, like just a whole different lifestyle. I hate the cold. I'm literally cold-blooded. I'm always cold. Like my hands are always cold. Everything's always like, if you know me, I'm always cold. So I'm excited for the hot air. Okay guys, so my camera died. It is now like 4 hours later. I went out for dinner in the city and I'm back I'm gonna keep filming, I'm gonna keep rolling and keep answering your questions. I don't even remember what I was saying. I think I was talking about how it is like a really crazy change to be moving, obviously, to a different state, but I always knew I was going to move. I've always wanted to live in different cities, and that being said, I still want to experience living in different cities. Like, I'm going to be moving to Queensland, but in my life, I 100% want to experience living in New York. I want to experience living in LA, London. Like, I want to do so much traveling. So I know like this is like scary because it's like my whole family are moving up, which in some cases is like comforting because like no matter what, I'm gonna have my mom and my dad with me. But also it is really scary because I know that like I can't just come home, if that makes sense, because my house is gone. What I know of, there isn't something waiting for me back here, if that makes sense. But I'm really excited just to like get out of this space. As I said, I finished high school and like I was in this weird transition, and I actually really struggled like after high school, which is really weird because I'd never liked high school. So I like thought like once I finished, like it would be like this crazy like breath of fresh air and I would like love it and I would be like, oh my god, this is the best time of my life. But I actually found it really hard. If I filmed this video a week ago, I would still like be in like this weird headspace because I found it really hard not having a set routine and knowing what I was doing every single day. And like it's just a weird transition. It's weird. So I think like this change of environment and this like new life, new chapter, it will be really good for me. I feel like that's that. Forgot to mention like one of the most exciting parts of me moving is, so my mum is moving, my dad is moving, my sisters are staying in Melbourne. So you guys know Jackie, who is one of my bestest friends. We're super close. She is staying in Melbourne, which I refuse to believe. I've told so many people that she's moving, like, because in my head I'm like, no, she is moving. She's staying, so we're not going to talk about that. My other sister is also staying. She just built a house, so obviously, and she has like her partner here and everything, so obviously she is not moving with us. And then my other sister has already moved to Newcastle, which is in New South Wales. So it's just me, my mum, and Carly, which is crazy. So rewind, basically Carly is going to be moving to Queensland with us by herself or with me. Basically how this went about is when I told her I was moving, I said like we'll do a road trip, like you can drive me up there and like stay with me a few days and then just like get me settled in. And then it started off with just being a few days, and I was like, oh yeah, like stay like a week or something and help me settle in. And then it was like, oh, just stay like 2 months and like have a bit of fun. And then it was like, oh, we should see if you can get a job and like see if you like it. And then it was like, oh my god, you should just live with us. And then it was just like, we kind of didn't really speak about it for a bit because we're just like, oh yeah, like haha, you'll like move in. And then it got serious, and then we're like, no, like I actually really want you to like move with me because it's so scary. But I don't think like me and Carly are so close. I just think it wouldn't work if we were far. We can't do a long distance friendship. I'm sorry, like we have to be with each other all the time. So she'll be living with us. We'll be roommates essentially. Okay, so the next thing is, where do you see yourself in a year from now? So in a year from now, it will be December 2022. So basically that's kind of like my 2022 goals. I did actually write a list of all the goals that I wanted to achieve in 2022, and I do kind of want to keep them like to myself, but I do want to share with you guys one goal that I have for 2022, and I would say it's my main goal, and I'm saying it so like I have to do it. But my main goal for 2022 is to start a podcast. I listen to podcasts religiously at the gym, when I'm doing things just around the house. I actually don't really listen to music very often. I love to talk. I'm a very chatty person, so I feel like I would just love to have a podcast. I also am a really nosy person, and I love the thought of being able to interview people that I want to interview. So I feel like a podcast is just something that I've always wanted to do, and I'm making sure that 2022 is the year that I start a podcast. So I really want to start one with my mum, and I kind of already have an idea of what like we'd talk about and all that kind of stuff. So I'm hoping that will be out in January, so stay tuned. So we are going to be moving in January, and then from June to August I'm going to be, me and Carly are going to be traveling. So we've wanted to do that for ages. We're going to be doing Europe together, which is really, really exciting. I can't wait. I love Europe, and there are so many countries that I still haven't done, and then countries that I want to do again. So we're going to do Europe for 3 months, and then I may do longer. I haven't really decided yet. I'm just not going to book the return flight and like return when I want to return. I'm thinking of getting a working visa in London and like staying a bit longer. Next question, are you going to uni? I have applied to unis in Melbourne, and I've also applied to unis in Queensland. I do not plan on going to uni next year, or to be honest at all, but I wanted to have that option there just in case. And I do think I'll get into a uni course and then defer it for next year. Tips for year 12 students. I got another one saying I'm going into year 12. Any tips? So all throughout this year, year 12, I did TikTok vlogs, I did like morning routines for year 12, I did heaps of year 12 centered videos, and I would always get DMs afterwards or comments saying, what are your like tips for year 12? Like, can you like give us like help, blah, blah, blah. And I always wanted to, because I feel like I have heaps of like tips that really, really helped me in year 12. Like not just like getting good grades, but also like surviving the stress and just being able to have a good time. But I never ever wanted to film the video because I was so scared. Like I would film this video, give out all these tips, and then ATAR day would come out and I would get a really bad ATAR, and then it would be like, well, you don't have like the credibility to be giving tips. Which, speaking of ATAR, it literally comes out tomorrow. It's currently 10:11 p.m. that I'm filming this, and it comes out at 7 a.m. tomorrow, and I am shitting myself. I don't even need an ATAR score because as I said, I'm not going to university. It's definitely an ego thing, and it's just like, it's scary. Like your whole year 12, it comes down to like a score, and I know it doesn't mean anything. I know like you can still do whatever you want, but it's literally all a head thing, and it's just crazy. But I never ever wanted to film like a year 12 tips video because of that reason. Like I was so scared of that. That being said, like I did really well in all my SACs throughout the year and stuff, so I feel like I could still give some advice. But yeah, if you guys want like a video on like tips for year 12, let me know, because I can film that. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Okay, 5 years is a little bit longer. I want to have traveled heaps. I want to have started a business. I have heaps of business ventures and ideas that I really want to start. I love the idea of starting businesses, investing, and all of that stuff. So I really would hope that in 5 years, how old will I be in 5 years? I'm 18. Okay, there's me saying like, I can give you all these tips, and I literally just had to add 18 plus 5 on my hands. I'll be 23. So yeah, I hope I've started a business by 23, but that is still so young. Traveled, I don't really know what else. I hope I've lived in another city by 23. I feel like 23 is so young. I don't want to get married and have kids until I'm like in my 30s. So yeah, I don't really know what else. What is your New Year's resolution? I kind of already touched on this about my goals for next year, but I feel like resolutions are a bit different. Like I feel like they're like little things you want to do. My New Year's resolution is I really, really, really want to read more. I love to read. I have been reading quite a bit now, but I want to make sure I'm reading at least a book a month, like at least maybe even 2 books a month, because I'm quite a fast reader, to be honest. Oh, another thing, I really want to join a diving club in Queensland. I don't even know if that's a thing, but